fans, welcome to this week's show. Week 1 is mostly over, but we're going to talk about the win that the Vikings got today. I'm here with Dorian, Foley, and Adam Carlson. What is up, guys?
Yeah, we are going at a pretty nice time this week. I hope we can finish things up because I've got something I got to do around 9 p.m. because I'm in the Eastern time zone now. I'm back in Michigan for the time being, and maybe I'll do one more show back in Minnesota. But for now, it looks like Michigan's the place to be.
Man, it's we'll give Dorian a second. It's a good day. We got 3 of the 4 Musketeers here. Kyle's working, so he'll be back with us probably next week or something, whenever his schedule allows. But Dorian's here. We got to steal him while he's working. What's going on, man?
I just had to take a little sip of the bubbly after today. Football is back. Like, okay, obviously, Jazz, we got a victory, but just football in general, I'm just so geeked and pumped that football is back overall.
I enjoy regular season football or preseason football. It's good stuff. You can learn a lot about the team. You get to see a lot of cool players, do a lot of cool things. But there is nothing quite like when that regular season rolls around.
Absolutely.
All right, we got some people in the chat, so we're going to throw it up here. I'm running the board today, guys, so this is terrifying for me, but this is fun. Got Fire Breather in school. Dalvin cooked himself a game. That's a good pun. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We don't really have any quick hits this week. We're just going to do the game review. Michael Cambria is here. What's up, Michael? Thanks for joining us. And Andrew, back again. Work. Andrew, are you working right now too?
This is out of our group, I tell you.
We've got to fix that in America. We need to have mandatory Sundays off for everyone that's not a restaurant. What do you think?
I agree.
Let's dive right in, and we'll get out some game balls and donkeys here shortly. But man, what a game today! Especially if you got to see the first half of this game, there's no way you weren't excited as a Viking fan. We defeated the Falcons 28-12 in Minnesota for the Week 1 season/home opener, and man, it was a pretty damn good day if you're a Vikings fan. Not gonna lie, those 12 points do not do the Falcons any justice. Those came in garbage time points. They were mostly scoreless for about 75% of this game. The pass rush was there. Special teams was great. Offense was really good. The run game was great. So let's dive into it, man. Before we do any stats, you guys want to give away your game balls and donkeys? I'll go last.
But then I can't pick the guy that you guys don't pick. There's 3 I'm choosing between.
Okay. I've got you then. Let me scroll up here and make sure I get Kyle's in here.
Oh, Mr. West did get his in. Nice.
Oh, okay.
I saw Dorian's. I don't know if Kyle gave me his yet. I'll let Dorian give his away. Go ahead, man.
My game ball, obviously, Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook showed his ass, and he reaffirmed that he's that guy, and he has the potential to be that leading back. Man, it was just so nice just to see his moves were just so crisp and clean. I'm not even trying to be funny. It just looked like that. I was just that impressed, and it was just a thing of beauty to see him run with the football. And his reads were just dead on today. Of finding holes and I was gonna say lanes like basketball, but yeah. So Dalvin Cook, most definitely my game ball.
Very nice. I started to cut Adam's face out here. We got this cool little pyramid set up, reverse triangle kind of going on. So people in the chat are giving away an offensive and defensive game ball. So that's kind of a new thing, which is pretty cool. Fire Breather gives his Anthony Harris on defensive side, and he agrees with Dorian for the offense. I'm going with Anthony Harris today. Good Lord, man. The kid just gets better and better and better every time I watch him play. 2 interceptions today. I think he had a forced fumble as well. I'm not sure if it was a fumble recovery on his part. There was a lot of fumbling going on. Lots of turnovers by Atlanta. But, man, what a great day for Anthony Harris, making the defense look well-rounded. So that's my game ball today.
It's an excellent choice. My game ball's going to Josh Klein. He had an unbelievable game on that offensive line. He had some great holes on that right side. Him and Brian O'Neill, they got a good thing going on because anytime that they were running on that right side, there was excellent room to run. I don't know what it is. I still don't think Pat Elflein is where he really needs to be, whether it's a confidence or an injury thing. But I think that, Josh Klein is making a nice impact, and people kind of underestimated his signing when he came to Minnesota.
I agree, man. His name was actually called out a couple of times on the broadcast. Thank God for NFL Sunday Ticket. They didn't black this game out, so I get to watch the game in its entirety. Josh Klein was getting some love nationally, which makes you feel good. And we said it before on the show. I know I did personally. I don't need this to be the Eagles or the Cowboys offensive line. I would love that. But if it's just middle of the pack, it's a night and day difference from what it was last year. So it's only one game out of 16, but today was a good one. Of course, Adam picked the offensive line. Had to show him some love.
If you would have taken, I might have gone with one of the guys you picked. See, that's why this works out great.
Game today. What's up, Sean? Hey, send us some photos to the Facebook page. If you took any photos from there, we'll throw them on the page with your permission, of course. South Star wants to know Mackenzie Alexander's status. I don't know that. I didn't look it up. I listened to Mike Zimmer's press conference a little bit. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but we'll try to get that for you and post it when we figure out something. MRI for Alexander on Monday.
Yeah.
Good fire breather. So
it is. It's that MRI done.
Yeah,
I believe
Mackenzie Alexander is that he's expected to miss. He's expected to miss some games, a couple games. That's like
as long as there was no damage done to the ligament in his elbow, it should be 4 to 6 weeks, maybe. But again, they're going to give us a little bit better timeline on that because if there was any damage done to nerves or ligaments or whatever in the elbow, that will be a much longer, more significant rest time and rehab time. So, yeah, we're looking at 4 to 6 right now would be the best that we're going to hear.
Oh, okay.
This is the only thing that really concerns me is we talked about this, I think Kyle and I last week or maybe the week before, is corner depth. We've been talking about Xavier Rhodes. He was in and out of the game today. Looked like some hamstring stuff again. But for the most part, he played really well. I'm glad to see that he bounced back. But, yeah, we gotta figure that out. I don't want Jaron Kirsten coverage unless we have to have him there. I like him too. Don't get me wrong. But that was a little bit scary today.
Yeah, Alexander with that dislocated elbow, that's got to hurt like a son of a bitch.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah, like the grimace on his face, like when he went down, like I thought he took a shot to the chest, stomach area.
Oh yeah,
because like his grimace was like he literally had like all the air like knocked out of him, and yeah, that feeling in itself isn't quite good, So I can only imagine like that same expression, but for his elbow, it's just I wish him a speedy recovery. That really sucks.
Fire Breather in the chat is talking about Mike Hughes, and that's an interesting situation because with what's going on with Mackenzie Alexander, the question of availability and depth at cornerback is going to be something we're going to have to watch pretty closely. It's not like the team isn't lacking players that can cover. They've got some safeties that can enter and play some coverage, and even though they are down some corners, they do have some talented people who can come in and do what they need to do. But of course, it'd be much better if the Vikings could have players like Mike Hughes available or Holton Hill available. But sadly, that's not really the case.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Every game's not going to go like it did today. They're going to need a game much like this one next week in Green Bay. Green Bay started off the season in Chicago. Sloppy offensive game from both teams, but in the division, Chicago goes down. They look pretty terrible on offense. Defense still looks amazing. We have to take this energy from this game, and we have to go forward in the division because next week's going to be rough. I don't like playing these division games early in the season, but it is what it is. You can't really dictate the schedule.
Well, I'll be honest, too. This game against Atlanta coming in, I thought this was going to be one heck of a test for Minnesota. Atlanta's got that high-powered offense. They've got Julio Jones, who's among the best wide receivers in the NFL. They've brought back their star running back, who has looked like an absolute monster at times. Matt Ryan may not be an elite quarterback, but he's good. He's very good especially when he has time. So the young defense too. They've got a lot of pieces on young defense that just that just could be potential stars in the future. To watch the Vikings come out, set the pace, play some mistake-free football, and just have their way with this team is just amazing to watch. And I walked away from this game with a great sense of a future for this team. I've been a bit kind of hesitant to say that they're going to win a ton of games, but if they can keep playing football like this, it's going to be great.
Well, let's round that conversation back around because we have to talk about donkeys. Adam's going to hate me for it. I couldn't pick a specific player. I'm just wasn't that on it. We got to fix the penalties, man. All these penalties today are going to screw us later if we have 10, 11, 12 penalties. There's a lot of stuff on the D-line. I didn't like them jumping off sides or neutral zone infractions and stupid stuff by Kyle Rudolph in the start of the first series of the game. Just got to clean the penalties up. But in their defense, number one, if this is what I have to pick, this is a good thing. And two, it's week one. Kind of expect a little bit of sloppiness, a little bit.
I think mine's going to follow yours up because I think we both dislike the same thing. And I just wrote an article on the Viking Age where I did the best and worst over there, which just got picked up by Bleacher Report too. So if you see that around, it's going to be making the rounds in your Viking stuff. So some good stuff there. But it's those false start, encroachment, neutral zone penalties. Those things are killer, especially on third down when you're trying to get a team off the field. I believe that you are probably going to go with one of those individuals, right?
Me?
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, specifically, like you mentioned, the third downs. We're holding this team pretty well together. There's good pressure on the quarterback. The coverage was pretty good for the most part. Little bits here and there you expected them to get away with later in the game, but when it's about to be 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 5, and then you give them 10 yards and an automatic first down, that's the only thing I could see Zimmer really getting in them about tomorrow. But can't do that.
Yeah.
Can't do that again. I'm going to say it right now. Like everybody was super high on Atlanta coming in. They may turn around and go to the playoffs. Who knows? But I wasn't as high. I know they had a ton of injuries last year in the secondary, which is kind of why they fell off. A lot of those guys are back. I wasn't high on Atlanta. I'm more high on the Saints or the Panthers from that division. So for me, and I'm nobody, I think they're a middle-of-the-pack team. I don't think they're scrubs. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team. So you can't have penalties like these against teams like the Chiefs in the NFC, like the Eagles or the Rams, because they'll eat you up. So, yeah, I'm with you. D-line mostly. Ugh.
Yeah, I was going to pick Everson because he's a culprit of that a little too much sometimes.
What about you, Dorian?
I feel bad picking this guy, but
Laquan ain't there anymore, man.
So it's not even with him. It's just I feel like he's out of position. Hercules Mataafa.
Yeah, for the same reason too, right?
Huh?
For the same reason too, that the penalty on third down, the neutral zone.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that. But he looks. But just to add on to that, he really looks out of size. Like he looks like he really looked like a little kid in there trying to go against a guy that's like 300 plus, and he looks like he's like barely like what I'm saying, like 200 and something pounds. Like I don't know.
That's one of the things I love about him. He plays so big. That undersized defensive tackle that has so many cool swim moves, and he can power you up right backwards. You don't expect that from seeing him on the defensive line just by his stature.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he'll get better. I mean, obviously he's still young, so I mean, I'm not trying to eat his lunch for it, And it's like I said, it's not him. Maybe it's just something that I just have to obviously as the weeks come, and he progresses. I'm hoping that he'll fucking kill it. But
people were saying the same thing about John Randall back in the day too. So hopefully, I'm not saying he's going to turn out to be the next John Randall. I'm just saying that the undersized players sometimes need that little bit of time to adjust and get ready because they're going against some big boys in the NFL.
Okay, yeah, most definitely, I agree with you. But wasn't he originally? Didn't he play off the end? Like, wasn't that his original position?
In college, he played linebacker.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like, I don't know. I felt that he could have, I don't know. Like I said, it's no knock. I'm not trying to be too negative on him or anything like that because it's not anything that he did. Like, oh my God,
right?
He did this, but yeah, it's just more so like it just looked out of place to me. So
yeah, he had the rookie jitters on that penalty, and that hurt. That gave them a first down. Thankfully, it didn't lead to a turn in momentum or anything that turned the game around. So that was a big plus. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think we all had the same kind of feeling about that. The defensive line missing a few cues here and there.
Yeah. I feel like Dorian was in the same boat that I was. Dorian's like, we played a pretty good game everywhere, so it's kind of hard. Now
nobody really stood out as being a real donkey. The kicking game was good. The special teams turned out all right. And those were my two major concerns was I did not know what to expect from that special teams. And if you didn't know that there was special teams drama on this team heading into this game, you would not know it by watching it. No idea.
Wow.
I've been posting these on the little screen here, popping the comments up, but we got rid of Corey Vedvik, and he goes to the Jets. Somebody said he lost him the game today. I know the Bills came back in the fourth quarter and won that game today, and as much as I was shitting on Slick Rick the other week, looks like a bullet was dodged there, even though it cost him a 5th-round pick, so that's cool, I guess. But, yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm so glad to see Dan Bailey looking good. Signing the new punter, what's his name? Britton Colquitt, something like that.
Yeah, Britton Colquitt.
Yeah, Britton Colquitt. He was punting his ass off today. Just awesome. And then
he's holding like a rock star too.
Yeah, we can't.
The news is officially in. The Arizona Cardinals just made a field goal.
Oh
yes.
The game is over. Lions have lost.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it. Live people podcast. That's super funny. Well, we can go around. We can kind of talk about the league a little bit later. Let's just go down the little stat sheet here just to give people a recap because the score says lots of things, but it's not indicative of the game. Here's the first stat. Kirk Cousins was 8 for 10. 8 completions on 10 pass attempts. He had 140.8 quarterback rating. 1 touchdown, no picks. 1-for-1 sacks. QBR was 76.3. When we scored 28 points and he only throws the ball 10 times, I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen that. He said that in his post game. He's like, I don't know that I've ever been a part of a game like this. So,
as I was telling you guys in the chat, when you've got a game plan coming out and your struggles the past year was running the football, and you can come out and you can pound the ball up against a team, the Falcons aren't a bad run defense. They really aren't. And the fact that Minnesota was able to run all over them using their new scheme with their new coaches and some of their new players, Alexander Mattison looked great too. I mean, it's not like it was just Dalvin Cook doing work. The blocking schemes were great. Josh Klein looked good. Having Brian O'Neill back in the lineup was real nice. We even saw some really great blocks thrown by other players. Of course, Adam Thielen always willing to block, but there was one really amazing block by Irv Smith Jr. that just, if you were watching, you were like, "Oh, that was so good."
Yes. Yeah. You hit it on
this
the
head. This is
man.
good here.
Yes.
So I have to put this up while Dorian was going. Sorry to keep covering your face, Adam. Fire Breather says he's watching Purple for the Win podcast. He said his losers were Fox because here we are winning and destroying the Falcons, and they show Mike Vick beating us in overtime.
They could have showed us some other Falcons-Vikings moments that he hurt equally as much.
Good God, man. I'm with you on that. And I'm also – who's it runs that? Andy over at Purple for the Win? Yeah, I'm with Andy on that. I said the same thing out loud. I'm like, really? I get this. You want to call up Mike Vick because he's in the booth now, but that's crap, dude. We're having like one of the best games of the last decade, and you're going to bring that up. Get out of here.
I mean, we could do some other donkey stuff too, like that pass interference penalty that got reviewed that shouldn't have been thrown in the first place. Yeah, we can call refs donkeys. We can call announcers donkeys. Heck, I'll probably at some point this season call Troy Aikman a donkey. It's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, the broadcast itself, when you have so little to pick apart from a game that you got to reach, like even we did for this game to find a donkey, I call that amazing. That's good. That's good stuff.
Low key, I was going to give my game ball to Kevin Stefanski because you just mentioned it, but I wanted to give it to a player, and Anthony Harris was one of the many you could have picked from.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't run the ball very good for about 3/4 of the season last year. Still somehow managed to have a winning record. Really do believe in some of those games, had we ran the ball or maybe made a field goal here or there, would have been in the playoffs again last year. Today we had 172 rushing yards.
That's amazing.
Dalvin Cook had 2 on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 5.3 average, 111 yards on 21 carries. Alexander Madison, 9 carries, 49 yards, 5.4 average. And Amir Abdullah and Kirk Cousins combined for 12 yards. Whatever, that's fine. But
I got to be a part of me when Madison got to the goal line. I really wanted the Vikings to keep Madison in there and let him get that score. Basically, because I want to see the young man get going, and because my fantasy football opponent had Dalvin Cook. So yeah, that's me. That's why I wanted the points. I just didn't want him to come from Cook at that point.
Alexander
of fantasy,
Madison, I'm really liking. Oh, okay.
My bad, man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump in. You'll laugh when I tell you about this after. Please go ahead. I'm interrupting Dorian right now.
Oh no, let's go. I just want to add real quick. I'm really happy that we drafted Alexander Madison because he is looking like the future. Like we are good, so good at running back, and I'm confident. I'm not on some Kyle West stuff of everybody going to tear their ACL or something, but I'm confident in the event if Dalvin was to get hurt or something or had to sit out a couple plays or something like that. I'm so confident and comfortable with Alexander Madison getting plugged right in there and then just continuing, our offense. The kid looks like he already has it, and he's just
knock on wood if you're with him.
Knocking on all the wood.
Okay,
I didn't know today. Thankfully, the broadcast told me it was. I think it's Rick Spielman's brother was up there today. Chris
Spielman was in the booth.
Yeah. Him and someone else. I didn't get the other guy's name, but
Tom Brenneman.
Talk about Alexander Madison. Didn't he have like the 4th most rushing yards in college football history? Like it's 4th overall, something like that. This guy's a 3rd round pick, dude. What? I had no idea. He was at Boise State, decent college football school, but nonetheless. But Adam was talking about fantasy earlier, and I got to share it with the group. We got some love from my future ex-wife, Katie Nolan, today. She drafted the Vikings defense, and for the longest time, she's on Instagram going on a tirade today. It's hilarious. But she started Baker Mayfield today, who did not. The Browns just didn't have a good day.
Yeah, I did the same.
Ugh, I'm sorry. But I guess the Vikings defense had like 18 points at one point. She goes, well, the highest scoring person I played today was the defense. Thanks, Minnesota. It just made my heart flutter with all kinds of feelings. So I just want to work Katie Nolan in the show. I love you.
Kyle, what color is her dress?
Going through, we can talk about the receivers real fast. Adam Thielen, 3 for 43 with a touchdown. He scored the first touchdown of the season. It was a very impressive touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 2 targets, 2 catches for 37.
Now, keep in mind, Diggs was banged up for this game. There was a question as to whether or not he'd be able to play, and considering that the team only threw 10 passes, 3 of them went to Thielen and 2 of them went to Diggs. I mean, that makes sense.
Distribution. Who's the last? Dalvin Cook had 2 catches for 9 yards. Chad Beebe 1 for 9, and I think he got a first down with that catch. Man, I was watching that the Voyage or whatever. We mentioned it last week.
Yeah,
and we're talking about how Chad Beebe made the team, and it was highlighted there, but you saw it today. The dude never slows down. His acceleration is awesome, and you saw that today on the catch that he made. Once he catches the ball, even when he's running the route, his get up and go is stupid fast. Especially for a little white guy, too. I'm surprised he didn't find his way to New England since they love them up there. So, moving along, we had some fumbles in the game. None of us Kirk Cousins fumbled twice, recovered once. Garrett Bradbury recovered 1. Anthony Harris recovered the other. That
ball security has got to be an issue, though. That's something that they do have to talk to him about, because I don't believe that the one that got called back as being a pass. Yeah, I get it. But the communication between the center and the quarterback we've seen a fumble like that on the snap before, and that's something that can't really happen. Otherwise, it's nice to see the Vikings with some heads-up plays to recover the football, but as I said, you've got to, if you're going to have a clean game, you can't really turn the ball over too much if you want to have that advantage. And the fact the Vikings were able to get some takeaways without having a giveaway, that's big right there.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, they mentioned Kirk Cousins' fumbling issues, and it's a lot over the last couple of years. Definitely not his strong suit. Oh, this is interesting. The football news that shocked the world this weekend. Let's go ahead and talk about this for a second, even though we're running through the Vikings game. Antonio Brown throws a hissy fit all offseason and finds his way off of the Oakland Raiders. Magically gets picked up by the freaking Patriots. I asked this today in the chat, but I don't know. Isn't that illegal? He made it public that he purposely got cut so he could go somewhere else. How is that not like tampering or something? You know, like
if it all matters is if there's evidence. Contract. If there's no evidence, what can you do?
I mean, he said it out loud though. He said he consulted a social media expert to find ways to get released.
But did it have anything to do with the Patriots? If they can't link it, then it ain't tampering. He wanted to go to the Patriots in the first place. That's where he wanted to go.
I hate it so much.
But they wouldn't trade him there.
He's not playing tonight, by the way. He's not playing this game against the Steelers, but that made me so mad. It's like, of course he's going to go to the Pats. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah. Him and Josh Gordon, that's got to be an interesting locker room.
Their starting three would be Edelman, Josh Gordon, and Antonio Brown.
That's just like,
so we have a good point here
so scary.
From the chat. I'll bring this up so you guys can talk about it. South Star says, "I'm happy they only passed 10 times. It left nothing on the film for the Packers." It's a good point.
Yeah,
they'll do a lot, man. I'll tell you straight up. This next game is going to be so close and so intense. That Packers defense looks much improved. And it took a couple of drafts. They started this a couple of years ago, drafting heavy on defense in the first couple of rounds. They actually went out in free agency, which they never do. I'm really mad that they did because they actually did something smart on that side of the ball. But it's going to be tough. They're definitely going to be a better run blocking team than the Falcons were. But that's a good point. That's a very good point. Defense can go down here.
Andrew Lale on the chat. It's okay to tamper with yourself.
There it is.
That's good stuff.
That's funny. So looking at the stat sheet, Harrison Smith and Jaron Kearse both had 9 total tackles, 8 solo for Smith and 2 pass defenses, 1 pass defense for Kearse. Xavier Rhodes and Anthony Barr were next at 7 and 6 respectively. Tackle for loss for Xavier Rhodes, a pass defense. Anthony Barr had 2 quarterback hits. I believe he got a sack to start the game off. So,
yeah. I don't know if you were listening to the game broadcast, but apparently Rhodes wants to be Xavier Rhodes now, not Xavier.
True.
So that's going to be something that we've got to get used to. Because I'm going to say Xavier a lot.
You yourself out the damn game every time you get burnt on defense. I'm sorry. That's a pet peeve of mine with him. Every time he gets burnt, don't you notice that he comes up? Oh shit, my leg,
No. That's his other. That's Xavier. That's X. Or no, when he gets burned, that's Xavier. When he does well, that's who he wants to be. That's X Xavier. That's what we get it. That's so funny too because we used to do that with we used to do that on purpose in the show with Adam Thielen. Adam would call him Adam Thielen. God, that would piss so many people.
Oh, it was great,
dude. It's a joke. We had to stop though because so many complaints.
I was telling the Kyles, I'm like, I'm going to make this a running joke, and it turned out that a lot of people did not think it was funny.
Oh, well, whatever. Like they don't have a sense of humor. Like lighten the fuck up. Like
I don't know how long you did that for, but it was glorious. We get so much hate mail about that. We were like, dude, we're just kidding.
Yeah, because PA called him that once, and we just kept doing it.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. There's a slight lag where I'm at. This free internet out here in the woods. It's 4 sacks today for the defense, 7 tackles for loss, 8 passes defended, and 8 7 quarterback hits. So the defense came with a vengeance today. I think we all kind of ran that down into the ground too much. Interceptions. Anthony Harris had the team's 2 interceptions today, which is crazy. He got 2 in one game. Chad Beebe had 1 kick return for 13. Dan Bailey was 4 for 4 on extra points, didn't have to kick a field goal. And Britton Colquitt, 5 punts for 247 yards, 49.4 average, 2 inside the 20. The longest was 57. So it's running down the stats. Man, I'm excited about this team. I am optimistic about this team after they did that today.
I don't know if this is a strange thing to be excited about, but having a Pro Bowl quality holder is something I never thought that I'd be just psyched about.
What are you so psyched about?
Having a Pro Bowl quality holder.
A Pro Bowl quality holder.
Well, you know you're a Vikings fan when ... We just want to get to the basics and we just want quality of life back to us again. We're like, oh my God, This is normal. This is so good. You got to think though, over the last 2 seasons, even that season, I can't really count the Minnesota Miracle season because we did pretty well most every game. But I think over the last 3 seasons, how many games were jacked up due to special teams? It's a handful.
Yeah.
So we don't. If they can keep this going and they have quality players there, or even not even quality, just competent players. Dan Bailey's still got something left. The new punter's great. Holder's hopefully fixed. Knock on wood again. We'll be fine. It's stuff you shouldn't have to worry about. And the coverage, I like the coverage today for special teams. It looked really, really good. A couple of hiccups in there, but nothing to be too concerned about. So.
He did, and I thought that was hilarious, so I just kept rolling with it.
I guess that's it for the game. We can go down a little bit through the league just because this is sort of a shorter show. We didn't do any quick hits. We're just doing a game review. The Ravens looked really good today. That was weird. Lamar Jackson. It's funny because he addressed this in the post-conference press conference in the post game. He goes, not bad for a running back, right? Since that's a running joke for him. 4 passing touchdowns for him today, which was crazy. Nick Foles got injured first game with the Jaguars, which is really sad.
Broken collarbone.
He's got a broken clavicle. Yep.
That's ouchie.
The Titans. What's that? I
don't know who you're talking to. But yeah, you do got that sweet little delay going on, which is nice.
Absolutely. Titans ran all over the Browns today, 43-13 in Cleveland. Ugh, so much for that hot start for them. The Bills came back in New Jersey and beat the Jets 17-16. I thought the Redskins were going to do the world a favor today. The Eagles and Case Keenum looked all right. The Rams held on to beat the Panthers. The Panthers shot themselves in the foot like 10 times today and could have beat the Rams. Chiefs beat the Jaguars, and the Colts went into overtime with the Chargers and Jacoby Brissett in L.A. So that was crazy.
Minshew for the Jags, man. Minshew. Mr. Mustache. You got to love him.
That mustache is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The Seahawks got a scare. They were about to lose to the Bengals today. I thought they were in contention for a loss today. The Cowboys ran all over the Giants. And the 49ers beat the Buccaneers. We are waiting on – wait, there's 3 games left. Is this going to be –
there's double header on Monday night, I believe, right?
Just the first week?
I don't know. I think it's going to be a pretty regular thing. You did not talk about, though, the Bears and the Packers, I don't believe.
Why?
Yeah, screw them both.
Now, I don't know. After watching that Bears and Packers game, I'm not sure if the Bears offense are garbage cans or if the Packers defense is actually getting better. I mean, I know that there's some improvement there by Green Bay, but is making those changes on the coaching staff of the Bears enough to just make that offense completely struggle? I've had this talk too with the guys in the chat where I felt like Chicago's offense was way too reliant on these misdirections and trick plays.
Chat earlier, but I think Chicago is exactly who we thought they were. I think they got caught off guard last year.
Yeah.
How's everybody's connection? Is it still all right?
Yeah, it's going fine. Star in the chat says Packers don't have a defense, but the Bears have a Trubisky. And there were times Trubisky was missing open throws. And honestly, when the Vikings played the Bears, Trubisky was doing a lot more damage to the Vikings with his feet than he was with his arms. So I think that's something the Vikings are really have to account for, is a little bit more contained and a little less all-out pass rush. But again, this is something that I have faith this new Vikings coaching staff is going to be able to adjust to and accommodate for.
I've said it before on the show. I saw a lot of trickery and misdirection. That goes so far. There's a year of film. Second year for a quarterback usually can get a bigger stride, which Trubisky took last year. But I still don't see what people saw. I mean, I'm from North Carolina. That's my college team. Said it many times on the show. I don't see the big deal of this guy. I don't. You pass on Mahomes and Deshaun Watson in the same draft? What? No, I'm good, man. So
a lot of people get caught up in the prototype. The prototype of what a quarterback should be. That's how guys like Blake Bortles get drafted. Blake Bortles is built like Ben Roethlisberger. He's got that height. He's got the arm to make these long throws, but they just don't have the same skill set. You look, what you see isn't always what you get. I mean, you can buy an Xbox at any store, but once inside, try to turn it on, it don't work. What can you do?
That's true.
It's a solid point. I think they were in the same boat that we were for a while, though. They had went through Jay Cutler experiment, didn't work out so well, and then you're wondering who the hell's going to be in here. They had, I don't know if they had Brian Hoyer for a little bit. What was his name? Josh McCown was in there at one point, not too long ago. Like they're dying to get a franchise quarterback, and that's what happens a lot in the draft. These teams reach. And then you look and you sit there scratching your head. What did you? Because like I said, we didn't know Patrick Mahomes was going to be this good. I don't think a lot of teams did. Maybe Andy Reid actually did, and that's what. But we knew Deshaun Watson was a winner. Clemson showed you that back-to-back years. I would have went for him at least over Mitch Trubisky. Come on, man. I don't know. Bringing you that in-depth coverage from 3 drafts ago, right here on the Purple People podcast.
That's right. We are the kings of hindsight. And one of these days, Christian Ponder's going to put it all together and be the quarterback the Vikings need.
God. Oof, that's a rough patch.
Oh, my God.
Well, hey, good for him, though. He didn't win at football, but he won at life. Have you seen his family? Good for him.
Yeah, he's done good.
Yeah. Yes. And got a little coin in his pocket. He stole that money from us, although his 10-year So, yeah. He's good. He's good.
He's not as big of a con artist as Brock Osweiler, but he made a little bit of money. He's okay.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, too, how with the Vikings not having a lot of wide receivers active on game day, how much more often we're going to see a lot more of these interesting sets with multiple tight ends, maybe a fullback, a wide receiver in the backfield. I think we're going to start to see a little bit more of that creativity, too, as the season goes on. And like Dorian said, this is a game where the Vikings didn't give away a lot. People who go back and opposing teams that watch this tape on the Vikings aren't going to get to see a lot of what's going on with the Vikings offense, because a power run game, you almost can't plan against a power run game. Sure, you can study the blocking techniques and some of the things they've done in the past, but I'm not sure if they can actually take that away. Now, passing plays, yeah, you can study routes and do things like that, but I don't think that anything like that came close to being given away.
That's a good point. I'm over here with South Star. I don't know your name is. I'm just going off your username in the chat there, but I'm glad that we didn't throw the ball a ton because I want to see what interesting and new plays and designs Kubiak. We know Kubiak's going to be good for the run, but I want to see what interesting pass plays come off of that. What RPOs, what play action comes from that. I'm really excited. So not a lot of that was given away. I'm over here talking crap in the chat. Sorry, guys. I had to do it. It was super fun.
Well, I didn't realize that the Cardinals got that field goal on an opening drive overtime, so the Lions got another chance. Apparently, we have an NFL tie.
Boo!
27-27 tie.
They need to get.
How do you tie with the Cardinals, though?
They do.
They've got to get rid of ties. We have said that on this show 100 times. We've got all the stupid ideas in the world to make it more exciting to get your views up. Hit us up, NFL. We'll help you out.
Yeah, they need to get rid of that. Period.
Oh man, that's just rough.
Dang. Well, whatever. That's
life
about
could
us.
be worse. You could be a Lions fan.
Yeah, so I don't have a whole lot else left to talk about with this game. We can look ahead to Green Bay, but we've already talked a little bit about their defense, and we know how when Aaron Rodgers is on, he's on, and it's hard to plan for Aaron Rodgers because of his improvisation and the adjustments he'll make and all that kind of stuff. We know, we've seen the Vikings play the Packers enough time to know that this game's going to be a challenge. And honestly, I think this is going to be a much bigger challenge than the Falcons in a lot of respect because the Packers have a younger defense. And although I like Matt Ryan and I like the offense that the Packers have, I'm just not sure if the Vikings will be able to take away all the offensive weapons the Packers have, as well as kind of deal with the youth and speed on that defense. This is going to be a fun challenge to watch. It's going to be a great game to watch. And I believe this is another. Is this a noon or is this an afternoon game?
It's an afternoon. A noon. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. So yeah, that'll be fun to watch. Same time, probably the same channel.
I was gonna say something there, and it's completely spaced on it. So sorry. Oh, here you go. Interesting take for next week. I think I want to say it's interesting. You guys will be like, "That sucks. Shut up. You fire yourself." I think the game plan, as basic as a fan as I am for next week, should be. If you guys heard Tramon Williams, he's the NFL's oldest defensive back. If you watch Thursday, he plays for the Packers. Couldn't believe he was still there. He said, you know what? If we made Mitch Trubisky stand there and play quarterback, we knew we'd have a chance. I think the Vikings need to do that with Aaron Rodgers. Every time I see the guy make a play that just makes me want to light my hair on fire, it's on the move when he's on the run and throwing. Keep him in the pocket, have great coverage. Eventually the pocket's going to collapse. And if you guys have noticed in the last 3 to 5 years, Rodgers, when he knows he's going to get sacked, he's going to take it and he's going to fall down. And he has a history, a very, 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 very long history of holding onto the ball a little bit too long. Yeah. I think that same game plan worked for the Vikings to win. Now, are we going to win by 14, 16 points? Probably not. A touchdown or a field goal. But I think that's a good way for this game coming up next week for us to win. So that's just my 2 cents on the game next week.
Yeah, I apologize about the meowing. I do. That's my cat. He wants out, but he's not getting out until the show's over.
No, hey, Carl, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. I mean, that's a very smart take. As good as Aaron Rodgers is, yeah, he has had those tendencies that you just mentioned. So that sounds like a hell of a game plan. If we can get him to actually, play and challenge our defense. Because I've never been intimidated and scared, quote unquote, of Aaron Rodgers. Like, that dude puts on his pants one leg at a time, just like me. So, like, yeah, is he good? Yes. Is he great? Yes. All that. But at the end of the day, he's still a man. And, you can all get punched in the mouth every now and then. And, yeah, that's what I want to do to him next Sunday. Punch his ass in the mouth.
I like it. You guys got anything else you want to add this week?
No. If we're rounding out the show and ending, I'll do some plugs if you guys are good with that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Adam Carlson, if you're watching on the podcast there, he's at the bottom part of the screen. He does a lot of work on thevikingage.com. I'm not sure how I can do that in a little thing here, but I'll figure it out eventually. Or I can put some banners up. All right, let's go over here. If you go to, that's an example screen. Excuse me. Let's write that in there. Hey, go to this website that I'm about to type up.
You know you muted him, right?
Oh, yes, here we go.
Oh, there you go.
I am muting you because of the cat.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
I thought Kyle did that on that.
So I'm gonna type a banner in, and you guys can go to this website, and you can see all of Adam's work, and you can support him because every time you click on this right here, Adam gets some money, and it pays his rent.
Oh, those are big letters.
Yeah, it is. It's all caps right there. thevikingage.com. We get a lot of information for the show here, we being me because I'm lazy and I know he writes for them, so I get a lot of notes from his site there for the show. I don't have anything for me. Dorian, you can plug whatever you want. I'm just going to plug Kyle's stuff real fast. If you see this fancy shirt that I'm wearing, go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Purple People Podcast. We have pinned it to the top of the page, and you can buy this. They come in many colors, many sizes, different varieties, like hoodies, tank tops. They have stuff for kids, toddler stuff, anything you can think of for clothing. Get the Purple People Podcast shirt. You can rep that wherever you go. I like to take mine to the gym and sweat in it, so people can know about it here in Tennessee and wherever I'm at.
Sounds good. Also, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I have nothing. I'm just a Jackass fan. I'm glad to be on this platform talking about Minnesota Vikings football. I need to get a shirt. I got the old shirt, but I need to upgrade. So I need to get a shirt like. But Kyle, I'll be honest, I don't like that color.
No, that one don't work.
The green, Packer. I don't know. I just don't like it. I love you, bro, but I just don't like it.
Also, I wanted to remind you guys that I do some work over on Undead Walking, and it's a little slow right now with Fear the Walking Dead going on. The Walking Dead Season 10, I'll be starting it up in a couple of weeks, and that is something to really get excited about because I love what's going on with the story with the Whisperers. So if you're into the zombie stuff over on AMC, go check out undeadwalking.com or download the app. Both the Viking Age and Undead Walking have their own apps, so you can download them and get notifications whenever new articles come up, and I would greatly appreciate that. Otherwise, that's all I have for this week. Wait, before I go, I do have to remind people, make your picks in the Survival League. You're not going to win if you don't make picks. You got to pick at least one team each week that you have not chosen previously to win a game, and if you can make it the longest of anyone, then you will get a cool prize package, and we always send out a really cool assortment of stuff to the winner. So make sure you get involved in that and make your picks.
I'll just go ahead and say it for this year. And maybe it's a little douchey. I don't care, but it's free, so that's where it kind of levels out. I will personally buy the winner this year a Purple People Podcast shirt of your color and style. So if you do this, and you can mark it, I'm good on my word. I always try to pay for the shipping and whatever else. Adam and Kyle are very, very good. Dorian as well. I'm the worst at finding the cool swag. So I'll just give you something that you can get as a keepsake from us. So whoever wins, this will motivate you to make your picks because we had a lot of people get a strike today. So you got to make those picks, man. If you make the pick, or if you win, Adam's cat. Adam will put his cat along in with the prize package.
Hi, kitty.
But yeah, I'll buy the winner a shirt or hoodie of their choosing and size and color. So
very nice.
There you go.
On that note, I will
add a box of cereal. Whatever your favorite cereal is, you will get that shit too.
Nice. Some bonus cereal. You can't go wrong with that.
No.
What if it's Bootios? What if they want some Bootios?
Some That's what's up. I was gonna ask you, Adam. In Minnesota, is there any because you know how different states have different things? Is there any promo cereal Viking wise, of any player, some Adam Thielenos or something like that?
I haven't seen anything like that. No.
Oh, okay. Because I thought
he hasn't been making the chat often today. That.
But I think we're going to sign off, and we'll be back next week to talk about the game between the Vikings and the Packers. I'm not sure if we're going to be going Sunday or, hey, what are you doing? Jumping up here. Yeah, he really wants outside. But, yeah, thank you for tuning in, and don't walk on the keyboard. Remember to stay classy, Minnesota.
Bye, everybody.